Hello, my name's Dr. Mike Scanlon, and in this film, we're going to be looking at what I like to just call belly breathing. Other people might refer to it as diaphragmatic breathing. I'm going to be thinking today in this film about just how important it is that we use this intentional belly breathing process so that we can learn how to create calm in literally seconds or minutes, depending on how kind of stressed you are or how activated you are. It might take a little bit longer, but the beauty of intentional breathing practice, and what I mean by this is almost in school, perhaps starting every lesson with some intentional breathing, so that after a while, what feels like a process that we have to learn becomes the new automatic. So we're going to be using that part of our brain that let's call our noticer. And as we're breathing, we're going to be using that part of our brain that hones in and notices what we feel, what we hear, what we smell sometimes. Notices all of our senses. And if we have our noticer really switched on, then we're able to recognize that this intentional belly breathing is resulting in increased calm. So why we do this stuff is because sometimes something stimulates us in a really sort of difficult way. So it might be somebody saying something to us, or an action, or an unfairness, and we find anger stimulated. If we react to anger, the space between the stimulus and the reaction is tiny, and there's not enough space there for us to make any choices. We just react the way we've always reacted. And if the way we've always reacted has always got us into trouble, then nothing's going to change. However, with intentional breathing practice, we can learn that when we become stimulated, we breathe into it and we create space between the stimulants, and then it's the response. And it's that space in between that gives us choice. And we can choose then to act in a manner that takes us towards the human being that we want to be. So it's almost like we get really, really good at using that noticer part of our brain to notice when calm is descending. So let's have a go at some belly breathing together. When I first teach this, I think I like people to consider that it's almost use your imaginal part of your brain to kind of get a sense that there's a balloon. And if you take your hand and you place it on your tummy and you keep it there, imagine there's a balloon just underneath your tummy. And what we're doing as we breathe is we're taking in through the nose, and we're taking the air into our chest, which is expanding, and all the way right down there into the very bottom of the lungs, which makes our tummy sort of push out as though we were filling the balloon that's just resting imaginally underneath your hand. So let's give it a go. I'll just do a couple of breaths so that you can just watch for a second and get a sense of how we do it. Now, when we do intentional breathing, it does look like we're doing intentional breathing. But interestingly, once you've got this really sorted and you're in a stressful situation, you will automatically find yourself breathing in this wonderful way in order to restore calm and find that space between stimulus and response. Yeah. So don't worry about it looking daft, because I'm sure I am going to look a bit daft as I show you this, but do I care? No, not one bit, because this is really important. And also, I think you get to my age and you stop caring about how you look. Just imagining the comments running through your heads at the moment. So let's do it. Hand on the tummy, imagining there's that balloon and it's flaccid and empty. So what I do, intentional breathing, I sometimes close my eyes to concentrate. Then I take a lovely, gentle breath in through my nose, which fills the top of my lungs, and I feel my chest move upwards and outwards. And then into my belly, and I feel that sense of the balloon there filling with air. And then I let go, and the balloon empties. Did you all notice that on the out breath, I slightly pursed my lips? We call this pursed lip breathing, and it's part of this breathing approach. So let's watch again. Hand on the chest, hand on the tongue. Gentle breath in. There you go, chest and bottom of the lungs, tummy full of air. And then I deliberately purse my lips. Out it goes. And this is the point where I'm going to ask you to do it with me. There's no counting needed, just concentrating on intentional breathing. And I believe that we ought to start every lesson, every learning experience with a bit of intentional breathing, maybe even up to 10 breaths, so that our brain gets into that wonderful place where it can learn better, where it's responding instead of reacting. So let's just do 3 or 4 breaths together. And then when the film has stopped, have a chat with whoever you're working with. Have a chat with each other. Does this make you feel calmer? Does it sharpen your concentration? Do you feel less pulled and pushed by the stuff of life? If we get this right, the answer is yes. So let's just do 3 or 4 intentional belly breaths. So we switch that noticer part of our brain on, and all we want it to be focusing on is the process of breathing. So we begin by taking a gentle breath in through your nose, all the way into your belly, and let it go. And again, gentle breath in, filling up that tongue, and let it go. Just noticing that the out breath is longer than the in breath. Gentle breath in. We feel the balloon fill, let it go. I'm feeling calmer. One more breath. Gentle breath in. And let it go. Excellent. So we call this intentional belly breathing, and it allows us to get brilliant at being emotionally regulated. And what we know is that a calm, emotionally regulated mind learns better, deals better with stress. So we use our intentional belly breathing until we become masters of this breathing process. And when we've really mastered it, we can use this whenever we find ourselves feeling stressed, angry, sad, frustrated, to create enough calm to make better, wiser choices that take us towards the human being that we want to be. So thank you all so much for taking part in this little exercise, and I wish you luck with your breathing, and I wish you luck with making better choices as you go forward in life. Thank you very much.